Hello everyone, welcome back to Flourish and Thrive. Today we will dive into social psychology. We are going to engage in some hands-on learning with multiple choice practice questions covering a spectrum of difficulty levels, easy, moderate and hard. We've categorized the questions, ensuring there's something for everyone. Please feel free to pause the video, think it through and engage with the material at your own pace. And remember, the goal here is not just to get the answers right, but to enjoy the process of learning. Let's start with the easy questions first. Question 1. Who first identified the concept of social facilitation in 1898? Let's look at the options. Gordon Allport, Muzaffar Sherif, Norman Triplett or Floyd Allport. The correct answer is option C, Norman Triplett. Question 2. What is the Ringelmann effect also known as? Let's look at the options. Social facilitation, social loafing, realistic conflict theory or the social exchange theory. The correct option is option B, social loafing. Let's look at question 3. How can social loafing be reduced according to the information provided? Let's look at the options. Increasing identifiability, encouraging team loyalty, option C, both of the options A and B, and option D, assigning distinct responsibilities. The correct option is option C. Question 4. What type of goals can reduce conflict, negative stereotypes, and discrimination according to the realistic conflict theory? Intragroup goals, superordinate goals, personal goals, or individual goals? The correct option is option B, superordinate goals. Question 5. Who conducted the Robbers Cave experiment demonstrating realistic conflict theory? Let's look at the options. Fritz Heider, Walter Garrison, George Homans, or option D, Muzaffar Sherif. The correct option is option D, Muzaffar Sherif. Now let's move on to the moderate difficulty questions. According to the social exchange theory, what are the three stages involved in relationships? Let's look at the options. Option A, sampling, bargaining, and institutionalization. Options B, identification, commitment, and exchange. Option C, sampling, commitment, and equity. Or option D, bargaining, commitment, and institutionalization. The correct option is option A. Let's look at question 7. In equity theory, what happens when individuals feel they put more effort into a relationship than their partner receive less in return? Let's look at the options. Option A, satisfaction, B, resentment, C, commitment, or D, bargaining. The correct option is option B, resentment. Let's look at question 8. According to balance theory, when is a triad considered imbalance? Option A, when it includes an even number of negative relations. Option B, when it includes an odd number of negative relations. Option C, when it includes only positive relations. Or option D, when it includes more than 3 relations. The correct answer is option B, but it includes an odd number of negative relations. Let's look at question 9. What is the concept introduced by Walter Garrison Runciman distinguishing between personal dissatisfaction and social change? Let's look at the options. Social loafing, relative deprivation, social identity theory, or option D, equity theory. The correct option is option B, relative deprivation. Let's look at question 10. According to social identity theory, why do people tend to favor the in-group over an out-group? Option A, due to minimal group paradigm. Option B, because of social loafing. Option C, as it enhances their self-esteem. And option D, to reduce social facilitation. The correct answer is option C, as it enhances their self-esteem. Now let's move on to the questions where the difficulty level is hard. Question 11. What are the three processes involved in social identity theory? Option A, categorization, social identification, or social comparison. Option B, sampling, bargaining and commitment. Option C, intragroup goals, superordinate goals, and personal goals. Option D, co-action effects, audience effects, and institutionalization. The correct option is option A. Question 12. What is the concept of zero-sum fate as mentioned in realistic conflict theory? Option A. It suggests that if one side gains, someone else has to lose out. Option B. It describes the idea that groups always have an even number of members. Option C. It highlights the importance of superordinate goals in reducing conflict. Option D. It refers to the balance of powers between two conflicting groups. The correct answer is option A. Let's move on to question 13. How does the equity theory explain the dynamics of relationships? Option A. Partners seek to maximize rewards and minimize costs. Partners ignore the outcomes and focus on the inputs. Option C. Partners strive for complete equality in all aspects. Option D. Partners do not consider fairness in relationships. The correct option is option A. Partners seek to maximize rewards and minimize the costs. Let's look at question 14. What are the POX triads in the balance theory and why are balance systems considered most stable? Let's look at the options. Option A. Triads involving people, outcomes, and experiments. Balance systems are more stable because they involve equal outcomes. Option B. Triads involving person, other person, and some stimulus or event. Balance systems are more stable and psychologically pleasant. Option C. Triads involving positive, outgoing, and extraordinary elements. Balance systems are more stable due to their positivity. Option D. Triads involving positive outcome and experience. Balance systems are more stable as they focus on past experiences. The correct option is option A. Let's look at the last question. What is the role of the minimal group paradigm in understanding group biases and discrimination? Let's look at the options. Option A. It explores the impact of minimal physics effort in group settings. It studies the minimal conditions required for discrimination to occur between groups. Option C. It focuses on minimal interactions between individuals within a group. Option D. It analyzes the minimal communication needed for effective group functioning. The correct option is option B. Great job, everyone. You've just completed our social psychology MCQ practice questions. Now, it's time to see how well you've grasped the concepts. Take a moment to calculate your scores. Whether you aced it or found some challenges, remember, every attempt is a step towards learning. If you got 10 to 15 correct, fantastic. You've truly mastered the material. Scoring between 5 to 10, well done. Identify the areas you want to reinforce. Got between 0 to 5 correct? No worries at all. It's all part of the learning process. If you found this practice beneficial and want more content like this, please hit that like button and subscribe. It keeps the educational journey going. Share your score in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to see how you did. Is there a particular topic in psychology you'd like me to cover? Whether it's clarification on today's content or something entirely new, let me know in the comments. Your feedback guides the direction of this channel. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. Remember, learning is a journey, not a destination. Keep pushing your boundaries and stay tuned for more engaging educational content. Until next time, happy learning.